Hey, welcome back to Zombie Tactics today, and I want to ask you a tactical question. You may not think it's a tactical question, but I assure you that it is. And the question goes like this. Where's the beep? Where's the beep? Now, this may not make a lick of sense to you right off the bat, but let me explain it to you. I'm thinking about an old commercial on television, about 1984, 1985. It was a commercial from, I think, Wendy's fast food. Old lady by the name of Clara Peller. She goes into a fast food restaurant, and apparently it's a McDonald's, and she's upset over the fact that when she lifts the bun off the top of the hamburger, she can't even see a hamburger patty, so she's looking down on it, and she's going, "Where's the beef?" And it was a catchphrase for, 5-10 years, and some of you have probably heard of it already. It's been used in political campaigns and all kinds of things. And the idea is she was looking at what was ostensibly a hamburger, and she couldn't find the hamburger in the hamburger. And this is the reason why I call it, "Where's the beep?" and why I say that that is a tactical question. Those of us who train with firearms, maybe you do, ostensibly for self-defense use, we often find ourselves on a square range where there's a clear line, and we're in a line with other people, and the safety is a clear matter of policy, and we don't shoot a gun, or we don't even get it out of the holster for that matter, until we hear a beep on a shot clock. Or in some cases, maybe somebody yelling up, or gun, or bad guy, or bust them, or maybe there's a turning target system that faces the target to us, and that's a clear symbol that it's time to go to guns. Now, the problem, of course, is it doesn't work that way in real life. I can't think of a single instance where you could tell me that you would have a clear definition, a clear line drawn where that beep, in other words, signaling that it's time for you to go to guns, or perhaps it's time for you to do some other self-defense maneuver, run the hell away, do something, some kind of unarmed maneuver, push, shove, hit, kick, whatever. It's never clear. I know the few cases that I've been in an actual fight where somebody was trying to do me great bodily harm, and in one case where a number of people were actually trying to kick me to death on the ground, I didn't know the fight had started until it was already underway. There was no beep. There was no anybody yelling, "We're going to kill you," or anything like that. It just started. Part of what we need to be developing in terms of our mindset, our tactics and skills as people who are concerned about our own self-defense, especially if it has to do with using a weapon, is to start working out in our own mind, where is that line? Where is that beep? And just as importantly, where isn't that beep? And that's been the subject of a number of videos that I've made, having to do with your responsibility, morally, ethically, and legally, to de-escalate where you can, to keep yourself out of situations where you might be finding yourself in a violent encounter as much as possible, and to get away and not do anything that you might do to escalate the situation further or cause an otherwise slightly violent circumstance to become a much more violent circumstance. But on top of that, we need to start developing our mindset so that we can recognize trouble when it's coming our way and we can't avoid it, and so that we can see it before it happens, and that we can begin our steps to deal with it more ahead of time. Things like the knockout game that are becoming popular now, not to mention just plain good old crime. Things like the Tuller drill remind us that somebody 21 foot away from us with a knife in their hand can probably outrun our ability to draw a firearm and to bring that gun to bear and deal with the threat effectively, especially considering the fact that when somebody gets shot, they don't just drop to the ground immediately. It may take several seconds during which they're still stabbing you, they're still kicking you, they're still killing you. So we need to learn to find that beep, to listen for that beep ahead of time. We need to be almost kind of developing psychic abilities, although that's not really the right term for it. We need to start looking for the signs of what occurs. Now, one of the ways we can do this is we can engage in force-on-force training, and the force-on-force training that I've done has been very, very useful because it's been 3 different kinds of scenarios. Scenarios where there's nothing about that circumstance, even though it looks like it might be going that direction, where you have to use a gun or even engage in any kind of self-defense unarmed. A second type of scenario is one where you absolutely will have to involve yourself in unarmed self-defense of some kind or to bring a gun to bear, and there's no way of getting out of it. And the third kind of scenario is one where it could go either way contextually based upon how you react to it and how the people who are playing out the scenario with you are advised to proceed depending upon where you go in some decision tree of the way things could happen. That's tremendously useful. Now, if you can't get that kind of training, one thing that I recommend that you do is you kind of use the old neuro-linguistic programming technique, fancy term for basically working things out in your head. And you can kind of do like what they do with basketball or baseball, where you envision yourself making that perfect shot in your head, or you envision yourself hitting that perfect home run in your head. And they've proven over and over again that that is actually a valid method of training. But the important thing that we need to recognize is that beep is not coming. You're not going to hear it, and you're not going to see it. And that you need to, in your personal GunFu, to start trying to determine where that beep is going to occur ahead of time. Just a little more zombie tactics philosophy today, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.